going on, guys? Thank you for everybody who's been tuning in to CTM TV, CTM Sports Thinking Game Podcast. Help us grow. Hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Today, I was gonna do sports, but I'm gonna have to do it tomorrow because one of my guys he had to go to work. So I said, why not do a reaction video? And let me know in the comments if you would like to hear me do more of these around the podcast and the sports. I probably won't be on here for a long time, but ran across this video. I watch this podcast here and there a lot when I get time. When I'm at work or something, I'm walking, I'll watch it. PBD podcast, watch it. Um, and they had a guy on there, a younger guy in politics. He said he's a fourth generation Florida guy. Family grew up in Florida. He had some really hard points about things that he want to change. And let me know in the comments. Do you think PBD, Patrick Bet David, thank you guys. We got this guy from Florida. We really love this guy. He's gonna be a good politician, but we want to bring this guy on here and let him talk about his points in the competition. But do you think Patrick Bet David, or the podcast rather, is having this guy on there for the clicks? Because he was saying some bold claim, a lot of stuff a conservative person would say, but not out loud. But he was saying it, and I admire his boldness. I mean, I'm neither one. I'm a common sense guy. I have too much common sense to lean toward either side. But just listening to it, reacting to it, and let's check it out. Let me know what you think. I'll probably pause and react to it, but let's check it out real quick.
I told him, listen, guys, at least let him give his ideas here. Don't get too upset about it. The moment you came up with this idea that folks in OnlyFans in the state of Florida have to pay 50% taxes, a lot of Adam's friends were not happy. They were upset. They were furious that you're going to charge these guys 50%. Maybe for the audience that.
So he is saying if he's voted into office, once again, I'm not endorsing this guy. I don't know if he's being serious or he's just coming out swinging. Very interesting. You don't hear people say this out loud, but he's talking about putting a tax on OnlyFans, women that want to do OnlyFans. So let's check it out, man. See what the claim that he makes, and let's see.
Doesn't know this idea about OnlyFans, if you don't mind sharing it with them.
Well, young women in this state used to.
So check out this guy. He's pretty young for politics standards. I mean, I think he's like in his 40s, maybe 50s. I'm like, I don't know. He's pretty young guy, man. It's gonna be interesting to see if he has enough of a demographic to vote for him. So let's check him out.
Aspire to be business owners, doctors, nurses, teachers, and even devoted mothers. And now you have a disgusting, disgraceful platform called OnlyFans that encourages them to sell nude images and videos of their body on the internet to complete strangers. I want to be very clear, that is sinful. And so we're going to institute a 50% OnlyFans sin tax here in Florida.
50% on the profit or money that you make from OnlyFans. Let me know in the comments.
I want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Is this a good way to start off your campaign? Is there more conservative people than there are younger people who do things like this? A lot of conservative people probably think this, but they just won't say it out loud. So it's very interesting to hear him say this, and it's very interesting because I have no issue with Patrick Bet David podcast because I'm an objective person, but I do understand the business of bringing people to your channel and people watching. And I'm telling you, if it this got to be like kind of like box office, like saying this kind of stuff because this is a little bit different than rage baiting and stuff like that. I mean, let's just keep listening to it. It's pretty crazy though.
We are going to make very clear that if you struggle, if you need help, we're going to support you. But if you decide to reject that support and to continue down this path of degeneracy and allow yourself to be exploited by the OnlyFans platform, you're going to pay a 50% tax on everything that you make from OnlyFans. That is how you disincentivize and deter this degenerate behavior.
So let me know in the comments. Do you think if he became governor and he was able to institute this or pass this, would it work for what he's wanting to do? He's trying to deter younger women or women whoever do it from OnlyFans making revenue. Said it's degenerate. I'm sure conservative people probably wouldn't have anything bad to say. The thing that's interesting is you don't really see them push back a lot on this because they're conservative as well. But I think they try to see if they can get him to be objective about it, but he's adamant that he's not. So it's interesting how they play the angle game. It's the way PBD responds to these things are awesome. It's like priceless because he responds like a politician. He doesn't say you going out on the deep end. He doesn't say that you're right or you wrong. He just said, let's just see how the competition plays out. And that is an awesome answer because you're not taking sides. You're not saying he's right or he's wrong, but you're kind of like, let's just see what happens, you know. So thought that's something to think about.
And we're going to use the money, Patrick, to increase public school teacher pay. We are 49th out of 50, rock bottom
I saw that.
in public school teacher pay. This is personal for me. My grandmother was a public school teacher for 20 years. I meet with them all the time. I met with one in Orlando the other day. She is living between the back of her Prius and a hotel motel situation in different places
Gotta pay our teachers
outside of
more.
Kissimmee. This is a public school teacher who teaches AP computer science, and she doesn't have the means to simply have a place to live. Now, look, I don't believe that housing is a human right, but I believe that you should be paid a dignified market wage so you can go out. And remember, you're being rewarded for what you're doing in the school. Let's create a merit-based, performance-based, business-friendly way to pay our teachers. And this is one very smart way.
So what he's saying, I get that part about the teachers. I think that's probably every state. A lot of teachers don't get paid enough for what they have to deal with. Now, the thing that I could see that could backfire on this is what if a lot of those people move out of the state and they kind of bring this up and they move out of the state. So not only do you lose the general taxes that you're making, but you lose all revenue, period, and you won't be able to enforce that because nobody will be there to enforce it on, and you still don't get chances to pay the teachers. So you really have to think some of this stuff through from a strategic standpoint. But I think a lot of conservative people, if you're conservative, you probably would agree, like, you know, hey, we don't want the degeneracy and stuff like that. But at the same time, you know, if they move to another place, say they go to Vegas or they go to another state or surrounding states or something, and you lose, it's like that's why I say either going all in, it's the whole hog or nothing. It's all in or nothing. And sometimes it can hurt you, and it can help you or it can hurt you, man. It's all about understanding both sides of how it works.
To fund it.
And a supply on affordable housing and limit the number of units that can be Section 8s.
Agreed.
Which takes that supply away from that teacher who might otherwise find an apartment and a place to live.
Rob, is this the she's responding to him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go for it.
Never in my
So that guy, let's go back to that guy. That guy's pretty crazy. He appreciates some pretty. It's not it's really close. It's not racist, but it's like if racist was at a level 10, he's like at 6, 7 somewhere. He say a lot of inflammatory stuff sometimes. Like, I don't know if he does that because he wants to do that or is it for clicks. I don't know. I'm not sure, but pretty funny, man. He was talking about the Section 8, and if you take Section 8 away, then it opens up the doors for more teachers. But these guys, man, got money, so they don't see the world the same way regular people do. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm objective enough that I see the angle that they coming from, but I don't know if they really genuine. I think they just do that for their demographic base or something like that. But it's pretty crazy though. Skip.
Place to live.
Rob, is this the she's responding to him?
So now,
okay, go for it.
One of the
Never in
girls
my
that
whole
do it.
life did I think that I would wake up and see a Florida politician trying to start beef with me for clout. So he's proposing a sin tax on bops where we would have to pay 50% to the state on top of the 37 I already paid to the government. And I would be more than happy to pay that if multi-billion-dollar corporations were also being properly taxed.
Called him out. She called him out. She said it will be equal if you charge big corporations versus just charging one group of people. But what she don't know is they do charge corporations, but corporations know how to use the tax code. They know how to use the tax code. And they know how to use the tax code. And you probably don't think about it from that standpoint, but yes, they corporations have accountants, they have financial teams, and they know how to use the tax code to their advantage. If you don't know how to use the tax code to your advantage, you definitely need to learn.
But surprise, they're not. I never usually get into politics, but there are clearly better ways to raise funds from actual corrupt businesses in our country. I think that people also fail to realize that there are so many creators on this platform that do this job because they're struggling. So to tax them like that when they're literally doing it just to support their families is sad. I would much rather continue donating directly to people in need because we all really know where our tax
By the way,
dollars
she
go.
sounds like she may run for governor for Florida.
So, man, only people do OnlyFans is crazy, man. They have every excuse to why they do it, but it's still crazy. It's kind of like somebody said, like, you could make every excuse, but it's still crazy at the same time. And I don't know if you could ever make it just sound good, but to each his own, right?
She almost sounds like she's campaigning. What do you say about what she just said?
Man, this guy, Patrick McDavid, man, this guy is awesome with the wordplay. This guy is so awesome, man. He know how to cut the tension. He know how to break up the monotony. He knows how to make people laugh at the right time. And the thing I respect about him, he's totally objective. He knows how to bring stuff out of people that tries to hide some of those things. He know how to ask the questions in a way that will challenge you and try to get you to think. You can see the brains turning. But I really think I hope this guy didn't bury himself coming on here because they enabled him. They gassed him up. Let's say you finna get gassed up right now. And man, I hope this guy has a chance. Maybe, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not endorsing him. Competition is competition, but I hope he didn't take the wind out of his sail, though.
Well, look, I think young, smart, capable women can have better things to do with their life than bending over backwards and taking nude images of themselves and selling them for hundreds of dollars. Sophie.
You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
What you think? What do you think about what he just said about the OnlyFans? He said it's better things to do than doing OnlyFans. What do you think? You think he making sense? Do you think that will help him win in the state of Florida? I don't know. I tell you one thing, you don't hear DeSantis saying nothing about that. You ain't gonna hear that. So You're not gonna hear the other guy running for governor. I forgot his name. He
Rain
gonna say it on
makes
here.
$90 million a year. My message to
Wow.
Sophie Rain is quit OnlyFans or you owe the state of Florida $42 million and we're going to use it to pay our public school teachers more. It's that simple. As President Reagan said, now is a time for choosing.
$90
Sophie,
million on
quit
OnlyFans
OnlyFans or
is
pay your
ridiculous.
taxes.
That's
She would be
crazy.
moving to Nevada or Tennessee
Good.
tomorrow.
Good. We don't want her here
Yeah.
then. We don't want her here. What does she bring to this state? In this
So that's what I was just telling you about earlier. If they said she moved to Nevada, or she says that her main residence is in Nevada, right? Now you can't tax her to 50%. Now you lose. You don't get anything. You may not get state or federal. So you gotta be careful, man, when you playing these games. You know, you gotta be careful. That's even if he can get it passed. Because you gotta think, how many of the politicians that you gonna have run this bill across is gonna agree with you, right? It's gonna be a fight on your hands, man. Not saying he can't do it, but just the world we living in now, you know. People don't a lot of things that was not accepted in years past. Now it's turned into the wild, wild west where anything goes, unfortunately.
Am I right?
But let me know, man. Did this guy have a chance?
this idea, well,
man?
people are going to move. Well, if women who are going to engage in that degenerate behavior, who are going to sell nude images and draw men to lust, they're going to lead to the corruption of our youth, then why on earth would we want her here?
Well, I mean, that's the case. That's the case you're making, Tom. You want to say something about
Yes.
it?
And by the way, before people say, but I'm not your defender and I'm not your PR flack, but I will say this. Before people say that this idea.
You see how he tried to escape it? I'm not your defender. I'm not your. He trying to skate across that very nicely. He trying to skate. He don't want to say, even though I think in their heart, in their mind, I think he agrees with everything that he's saying. He's just not going to say it out loud. That's just my opinion.
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
They really want to say what he's saying, but they can't say that. They're not going to do that because they'll lose a lot of their fan base, you know. So they have to be very careful. I think they say they're objective enough to allow people to come on and say that to represent themselves, but you're not going to hear them say, I endorse this guy. You may not hear them say that. And I think they learned a lesson about DeSantis too, because they was endorsing DeSantis a lot until he said that in Tennessee, and you don't hear him talk about DeSantis like they had him on the show, but really wasn't the same. He lost a lot of steam talking reckless out there, man, on the campaign path. So
is terrible and unprecedented. New York has a tax on a pack of cigarettes. You know what it is? $5.35 per pack, driving the pack of cigarettes in New York to $8. Now, why do they do that? Because it was concluded that this product, tobacco, causes cancer and no longer represented the public good. And so an excessive tax was placed on a product that people said, you know what, we don't need this product. So before someone says.
So the thing that's interesting is instead of stop selling cigarettes, they just add a tax to it because they know people still gonna buy it. It's insane, man. And it's amazing how he's making this argument. He it's like he's saying, I don't endorse you, but I do understand what you're saying, but I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to give you an analogy to kind of saying that without saying it directly, that I understand what you're saying. That's why sometimes it takes to listen to different people to understand different perspectives to become a diverse thinker.
That this is unprecedented. Look at what it costs to be a smoker in New York City. You pay $5.35, not 7%, $5 a pack. So this is not unprecedented for the United States to find a product that people think, you know what, there should be an excessive tax on this because this is not a particularly good product.
That's right. And the idea is If you raise the price on something, what are you doing, Pat? You are decreasing the demand. Look, it's going to be very difficult to actually outright ban this sort of pornographic content as much as I'd like to do it, because you would run afoul of the First Amendment in the way the Supreme Court currently views it. But what we can do is we can use our tax system to incentivize the good behavior, the moral behavior, the righteous behavior, like getting married, buying a home, having kids, and retiring with dignity, and disincentivize the moral repugnancy, the absolute filth that OnlyFans represents. I would want.
So I don't want to do it because I don't want to get demonetized. I ain't like I'm monetized anyway. But let me know in the comments, man. Does this guy have a chance to run for governor against what's the other guy that's running for governor? Let me look him up real quick. I think his name is the black guy on Florida governor candidate. There it is. James Fishback. This guy's James Fishback. And what's his name? And Byron Donald, right? Who do you think has a better chance? Brian Donald or this guy, Fishback? Jason Fishback? I don't know, man. It's tough, man. It's gonna be but yeah, go check out that Patrick Bet David. I thought that was interesting. Another one, he said that he wanted to put a tax on people that's coming from New York because they're overcrowding Florida by moving from New York because of the mayor change up there. Then he wants to charge them, if you buy a house, an extra 50 grand on that, tax on that. And what they told him was, if you got money, that's not really gonna matter. But you want to stop innovative people from coming to Florida because they're not from Florida. I think they moved from LA to Texas to Florida. So it's gonna be interesting. He said Byron Donald is gonna bring data centers. He's gonna ruin the farms and stuff like that. That's gonna happen. That's happening everywhere. Data centers. Like I said, I'm not on either side. I could really care less. I'm just trying to get you to understand the reality. Like overall, the higher level politics, us local people, it ain't really a lot we can do unless you have that kind of money where your money will speak for you. But a guy that works in IT, I'm telling you, data centers are coming. Farming is starting to change as far as farming go, and that land is going to be used for something else, either solar panel farm, or data center. Whether you like it or not, it's coming. Not saying I agree with it or don't agree with it. Sometimes it don't even matter whether you agree with it or whether you like it or not. It's about what's coming, and if as a local community you don't increase your economic power through your resources where you can really have a big voice, you can't stop the snowball from coming downhill. You really can't, unfortunately. And with that being said, I'm gonna stop right here. Let me know what you think. Um, does this guy have a chance to run for governor of Florida, making these bold statements, or is he just trying to set himself up for something else? Because some people, they go for governor, they know they're not gonna win, they make these bold claims, and then they end up running for like Senate or something like that, a state representative, because they know they're not gonna win governor. And Byron, what's that guy name? I don't want to mess his game. I don't want to mess his name up. Byron Donald is well connected in politics, from what I understand. He know a lot of people. I don't know if this guy knows people like that. Maybe he does, but I think Byron Donald may be a little bit more in the game connected than he is. Sometimes in politics it's about who you know, man. And Trump endorsed him. I don't too much care about, like, say, either side. It's the competition. And when I saw this, he got making these claims. I thought, wow, I should do a reaction video to this. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this since I'm not doing sports tonight. Let me know in the comments what you think. Is this guy getting used for clicks? Or is old Florida coming back? He said he's old Florida. He's not new Florida. He's old Florida. Let me know in the comments. Mike, Motivation, CTM TV, Reaction Thursday. And I will catch you on the next reaction video. Let me know in the comments what you think about this, and I'll catch you on the next one. And I'm signing out.